Rutland High School is leading the discussion on global issues across schools in the state. Last week, RHS held the first Global Issues Network conference in the state, welcoming guest speakers from a variety of backgrounds to address students and spark dialogue on how they can make a difference and leave an imprint. The morning kicked off with 3 RHS students welcoming keynote speaker, Green Mountain Power's Director of Communications, Kristin Carlson. She spoke about GMP's role here in Vermont, how it's working to push for more renewable energy in the state, and how measures the company takes here in Vermont has a global impact. The goal of the GIN conference is to encourage students to consider possible solutions for global issues and foster collaborative relationships.
We've been working at the high school to develop this global studies concentration and to get more students taking action on global issues and to know more about global issues. So the conference seemed to fit really well, and it's work that I've been working on and Marcia's been working with me on for the past couple of years. And
it's really an extension of the global studies concentration program that you've been very instrumental in establishing.
And the conference works well with our STEM program also because, you know, to solve global issues you can't just do humanities or science or math, you have to know all of them.
After the keynote address, students broke into smaller groups to hear from guest speakers. Jennifer Wright, a graduate of Mill River Union High School, spoke to students about the organization she founded, HEAL, Raising Our World Foundation. Wright's organization works to build orphanages in developing countries. Her message to students Wednesday was that it doesn't matter how young you are or how large your dreams, you can make a difference.
When I was a senior at Mill River Union High School, I took a trip to Zimbabwe to volunteer at an orphanage, and it just transformed my life. And I knew that I had to help children around the world. So I, when I was in college, went to Kenya, and I decided to start an orphanage after this amazing volunteer experience there. So I came back to the U.S. and founded this organization, and since then have been raising funds to do this work.
Wright opened her first orphanage in Kenya, which currently takes care of 54 children. She also opened a high school with 46 students.
I just want to show them today that they can do anything, that it doesn't matter how old you are, how much money you have, you can make a change. I believe we all have a part to play in making our world a better place, and I believe anyone can do that.
Wright's message was one of many echoed by other presenters.
The whole idea of the organization works really well with what we're trying to do in terms of getting kids to take action. So they're not just learning in the classroom and then forgetting it. So they're finding what they're passionate about and taking meaningful steps to do something on it. And these are all the issues that they're hearing about today are pressing issues that they can't wait for us to solve them. They need to help solve them. So even small steps that they think aren't that important actually are important. So.
Some of our presenters are students that are 16 and 17-year-olds that have done amazing things already. Yeah. So I think that's important. Their peers can see you don't have to wait. You can do something.
GIN welcomed guest speakers like Rutland Police Chief James Baker, who spoke about Project Vision, to Caleb Kenna, who as a photographer captured migrant labor on Vermont dairy farms. Student from Rutland High School's Environmental Club presented to their peers about different animal hides, their color and textures. Climate control and safe water solutions were also topics discussed in depth Wednesday.
This is just the beginning. We really want to take it further, deeper, better. This is our first try at this, but we'd like to make Rutland a center where people can come together to do this.
Yeah, and I think it's really important that that students have a real voice in what they're learning and how they're interacting in the community, and so that's another huge aspect of this conference is that the students have an authentic voice.
It's very relevant.
Yeah. It's very relevant to them, and that they're engaged, and I think that that's essential.
Rutland High is hoping to host this conference annually going forward and invite more schools and other presenters to take part.